higher education institutions declare their SDG activities on their websites for rapid and effective information delivery that helps improve accountability, transparency, and performance. Despite the website's effectiveness as a tool for information dissemination, reporting sustainability practices were infrequent and unsystematic. This reporting discrepancy must be resolved to make HEI sustainability disclosure comparisons more meaningful. The objective of this project is to develop a Sustainable Development Goals Disclosure Index for higher education institutions, HSDI. It is an inclusive evaluation of international and national guidelines and literature relating to disclosures about Sustainable Development Goals information. Content analysis is employed to extract and classify the SDG-related indicators from various sources. A scoring method is proposed to measure the HSDI based on the indicators. The final 4 categories of each of the SDGs, with a total of 187 indicators, have been developed. The institutional theory posits that in order for an organization to be taken seriously as a legitimate player in the area of the organization field, it must constantly detect, interpret, and adapt to external forces. Coercive isomorphism is used when institutions are compelled to conform to predetermined group identity in order to gain social legitimacy. In light of this idea, this project draws on institutional theory to shed light on the elements that lead HEI to reveal their SDG practices. The HEI SDGs Disclosure Index, HSDI, was developed in 9 stages. Step 1. Determination of the major role of HEI. Step 2. Extraction and classification of SDG indicators from the local and international guidelines. Step 3. Extraction and classification of SDG indicators from past literature. Step 4. Combining the indicators in Steps 2 and 3. Step 5. Preliminary test. Step 6. Eliminating irrelevant indicators. Step 7. Obtain validation from the experts. Step 8. Final modification of revised indicators. Step 9. Scoring of HSDI. The scoring is adopted using an unweighted approach, where each index indicator is given a score of 1 if the indicator is disclosed and 0 if otherwise. A total of 187 indicators were identified for the index. The indicators cover all 17 SDGs within the context of major function of higher education institutions in conducting research, providing education, governance, and operation and external leadership. The score level is scaled and rated based on the percentage of HSDI scores. The level of disclosure is scaled as poor, fair, satisfactory, good, and outstanding. Higher education institutions can enhance their decision-making regarding sustainable development activities by encouraging greater stakeholder engagement through website disclosure. In reality, HEIs, as the primary providers of human capital, are in a superior position to promote sustainable development. The HSDI indicators can be used to evaluate performance in the rating system, likely resulting in increased accountability and transparency in the academic sector. This index can be used to measure the SDG disclosure level of HEIs in the SDG research area. This index is the very first version of such an index that was designed for use by institutions of higher education. It serves as a standard or guideline for SDGs disclosure specifically for the HEIs to help narrow the gaps of expectation of the SDGs and the SDGs practices of the HEIs. It is possible that higher education institutions in other countries might follow this concept and implement it in their programs. This project has been sent for copyrights, and a paper related to the HSDI development has been published in a MySite International Journal of Service Management and Sustainability. This project received a Business Resilient Research Award from Emerald Publishing. To end, sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Remember, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children.